What's up, everybody? Angela, as you can see, what's going on? You guys can hear me now. How you guys doing? Sorry about the no sound. It's just a button I forgot to press. One of many buttons I forget to press on a daily basis. Angela's going to be with us in a second. She's just running a little bit behind. The sound should be there now, correct? Yeah, we have sound, yes? I won't continue till you tell me we have sound. Okay. So, Angela will be with us momentarily. I was just talking about Diane Keaton and how sad I felt about her passing. I meant to obviously bring it up yesterday. It was on the thumbnail, as is D'Angelo, and we'll get into that very sad and for me, certainly unexpected passing. But Diane Keaton, man, that was her passing was really shocking to me. It didn't, and I recognize that everybody. God, man, I'm at that fucking age where all these people, and some of you guys are with me, where all these people that, we grew up with are at these like incredible, and they're in the twilight years. And so they're dying, and it's really fucking disturbing and sad. And so I was caught off guard, and I was a little sad about it. I still am, actually. It's a weird thing because like I didn't have like a love-hate relationship with Diane Keaton, but like I didn't really like, she wasn't anything I had to go see, if that makes any sense. If there was one criticism I had about Godfather, it was probably her casting. And it's not because she's a bad actor, that's obvious. Because in Annie Hall, she's like an absolute fucking delight. But I don't know, there was something about her that like, anyway, sad that she's gone. What's so wild about, something I didn't know about was the love story between her and Al Pacino. I don't know if you guys heard this. Yeah, Something's Gotta Give was a fucking super fun movie, of course. But yeah, did you hear about the Al Pacino love story they had? So she apparently wrote in her memoir that I guess her greatest regret was ever letting Al Pacino go, or something to that effect. And Al Pacino has now just said, after her dying, if I'm understanding it, I didn't get this. I could be fucking some of this up, but he said that he regrets not marrying Diane Keaton. So there's this like lost love story between these two fucking people, and I think that's wild. I think that's like really kind of touching, So anyway, and that really hit hard today too. Also, just feeling like, I'm sure Al Pacino had many nights where he sat and thought about how that should have been different. But I don't know, man. That hits hard for me. It's fucking sad as fuck. I hate that all these people are dying, man. I wish everyone would stop dying. It's also kind of scary. Like, we're going to get more into D'Angelo because Angela was definitely more of a fan. Not that I really wouldn't say I was a fan of D'Angelo, but not that I wasn't not a fan of the guy either. I just didn't really know him. We were just listening to one of his records and blown away by it. It's like a total combination of like Prince and Sly and the Family Stones. Amazing. And of course I've heard him before, but I didn't know the extent of his talent. And anyway, that he was 51, bro. Fuck. That hits like so hard. You know what I mean? 51, pancreatic cancer. What the fuck? Sad. What's up, Fell Bombing? That's so good to see you. Yeah, Foz talking about how Diane Keaton, how she was a Woody Allen apologist. Yeah, that hit hard too when that happened. Like that was a real fucking, yeah, that knocked her down a bunch of pegs for me too. But I don't know. It's so hard to be somebody's friend, I guess. It's so hard to put somebody in a place where they love them so dearly, and then, see them, fall from whatever grace. I don't know. It was hard. Woody Allen was hard for me. Okay. Woody Allen was hard for me. I had like a long, like I had that Woody Allen's roots go deep. If you love that guy's work, which I do, or at least some of it, then, when you find out that, your movie idol, like, falls to the wayside, it kind of breaks your heart too. So for Diane Keaton, it must have been absolutely earth-shattering, because she like literally collaborated with Woody Allen. I mean, they did amazing work together. If you haven't seen Annie Hall, you should watch it tonight. It's so fucking brilliant. All right, let me get Angela in here, man. Let's get the show on the road. Oh, I just put my own stuff on. Where are you, man? Where are you? Oh, Angela, you're on. There she is.
I slid right into home base.
Yes, you did. I was like,
just
man,
in time.
Everyone's like, wow, this is really kind of this is like a conversation with Dale. It's kind of, he's all right, but I kind of wish we were having a beer.
That's 5 minutes late. My apologies. Hey,
Unacceptable.
Can you put that out? Thanks. Appreciate you.
Unforgivable, all of that. I kid, of course. Where were we? Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
Diane Keaton, R.I.P. All these people are fucking dying, Angela, and it's breaking my heart on the one side. It's also making me incredibly nervous. I'm older than D'Angelo, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that one's really tough. It's awful for his. I just found out last year that he and Angie Stone had a son together.
Yeah.
Because Angie Stone died last year.
He got him some dreads, that guy.
Yeah. So he lost both his parents within a year. So that's tough.
That's incredibly difficult. Young parents. Like,
yeah.
We're not talking about.
Sad for that guy.
Like a friend of mine just lost his dad. He was 90 something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's 40 fucking years more for D'Angelo.
I was so surprised today by the news. I was a huge fan of D'Angelo when I was in high school.
Pancreatic cancer is a vicious fucking killer.
Yeah.
And, I'll tell you, there is some news on this front, and it's really big fucking news. So we're this close to a fucking vaccine that will eliminate that cancer, pancreatic cancer, among others.
How? Do you know how it works?
So it's so tragic. Yeah, it's a nanobot technology. So a long time ago, I remember having these conversations because I had read, and I can't remember, some book or something, but that there was, the nanobot technology, which is basically artificial intelligence programmed at, a level of nanobot, like microbial robots. It's incredible. I mean, they're like the size of molecules, and they get into, you can inject them like you do any kind of vaccine, and they're actual robots, and they are programmed to detect cancer cells, and they go and they attack them, and they kill them. So it's like cancer patrol in your body.
But do they have to be like controlled?
No, they're programmed. Well, they are controlled. They're programmed.
How do you get them out?
They don't come out. They sit there and fight cancer for your whole life. You're cancer free forever because they're just walking around going, "Come on, I fucking dare you," and like all robots, they're fucking. They can work 24/7. They got they have no expiry date. These ones, I don't know how they're powered. I guess they're powered on love, maybe. Maybe it's love.
That's spooky.
But it's nanobot. I just read it. It's I can't believe it's happening.
So we'll be like bionic.
So, who knows what it'll cost in America, but in Canada, that'll probably be, you could probably get it for a good price. In America, it's probably going to be like, 7 children or whatever, like, some kind of like, we'll trade you for 7 newborn babies.
You have to sign in.
You'll have to get started now. And yes, you can be poly. Go right ahead. Oh my God. Well, anyway, it's the saddest news that cancer took that man. Fuck cancer. Cancer's such a scary thing.
Did I hear you say that you didn't know about D'Angelo before today?
No, I did, of course.
Okay.
I've heard him a bunch, but I've never sat down and listened to him. And in fact, really,
he's special,
and
bro.
Really special.
He's a super special artist.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people who are in like, what I guess the genre is like neo soul.
Yeah, I've never really exactly.
It's very interesting.
I've never found a pathway to it ever.
Well, what's super interesting is that there was a lot of artists that came up around the same time where it was like in the 90s, they kind of rejected like the tech sound of soul music from the 80s, which was kind of left over from the disco era of the 70s.
Yeah.
So a bunch of these artists showed up in the 90s and they were like, what if we went further back? What if we started to gain influence? Like, what if we were influenced by the artists of the 50s and 60s? Like Prince was. Like Prince had some electronic records, but most of his work was influenced by like, you know,
Sly and so on.
Yeah, like further back.
Even further back than that, of course. Yeah, Little Richard.
So a lot of these artists started to it's like this new genre, and the genre stayed. Like there's a bunch of people that are still making the same kind of sound, where they're just they're basically it's like having a new Curtis Mayfield record, you know, but like updated, you know, like it's wonderful. Everybody loves it, and D'Angelo was the first one that was like, he was mainstreamed so much that it was the first time I became aware of that genre, and I loved it because I was already a huge fan in high school of Sly and the Family Stone and Funkadelic, and they were so it just was like a perfect fit. And then of course it was that music video, How Does It Feel, which is basically like porno. It's like D'Angelo, the most moisturized man you've ever seen.
Yeah, dude.
With like the most cut obliques you've ever seen. Singing like he's like in church, which none, you know, like kids like me, like we don't know what like.
No, like his soul is crying.
We don't know what like church soul sounds like. It was fucking amazing. And it just like blew me and all of my friends over. And I remember listening to his records for like 2 years straight. I remember I was still living.
It's a highly sexual video.
It's romantic. Well, the video is highly sexual. It's actually so strange because he said later that it was really devastating to him personally because he obviously participated in shooting a highly sexual video, but I think he didn't anticipate how he was going to be objectified after that.
Right.
And that kind of fame where he wasn't necessarily being respected for his artistry and his gift and more about his body, it really fucked him up. So he said in interviews since then that he completely retreated from the public eye because it made him so uncomfortable, which is such a shame. And of course, that's what they did to every artist in the 90s was like, you're either sexualized or you're rejected. Like that's the only space that there ever was in the 90s for any artist. Right. It's fucked up.
I mean, it's you know, there's always something, you know, whatever is the flavor of the decade or the era. Mm-hmm. And then that'll be the thing that you're either or you're not. And if you're not, move on, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of it is going to be sexualized. It's just the way it is.
I found this really great reference if any of you guys are interested in this genre of music. On our Let's Talk Music, they had a discussion about D'Angelo and what his influences were. And somebody said that... sorry, let me find this. Questlove from The Roots.
Yeah.
He wrote about it in his autobiography. I forget what it's. Let me try and find this. I'll bring it back.
Yeah, cool. So my main topic today.
Oh, sorry, I found it.
Okay.
Questlove wrote about this time in the 90s in his book. It's a very cool era. It was a soul collective. They called themselves Soulquarians. It was a collective of artists helping each other make music and produce. D'Angelo ran in this circle, and there is much to be heard from this group in this era. This person offering this suggestion is another indie car blog on Reddit. Anyway, that's definitely a thread I'm going to pull. I'm going to read this shit immediately.
Yeah, neat.
So it's so sad that we lost him and Angie Stone last year, and you know.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think a lot of that music came out of Philadelphia too. So
I mean, what's terrifying me, right? And I'm sorry to his family and his family, but what's terrifying me is that this cancer and all this shit is like killing so many young people and just all this disease. It just feels like there's just more of that than I've ever seen. You know, on the celebrity level, especially, but you're seeing it in sports. You know, you've got James Van Der Beek, who is battling his ass off right now with colon cancer, and you've got, you know, Eric Dane, you know, who he just had a terrible fall.
It's ALS.
As he battles ALS. So I don't know. It's really overwhelming, dude. It's just like every time I feel like I turn around, they're like America's collapsing on one side, and then the other side, somebody young is dying of something, and it's really just. and young, relatively young. I mean, 50s is ridiculous. I mean, 51 years old, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's really young.
Donald Trump is trying to move the, Social Security age to 70 or 75. And these fucking people aren't even making 50 or aren't even making 55. It's fucking terrifying and horrible, and, it's just, it just makes you wonder, like, is there something up? And this is, like I said there was a live where I was like, is there something in the water? Like, what the fuck is going on? Is it COVID? Is it whatever? It's just, the whole thing's just frightening because there's just so much of it going on. I don't want to digress too much. So let's get on to our main topic because we'll end up here for another fucking half an hour. Blake Lively, dude, it's such an interesting world we live in. Like, I think that this case is such a reflection of the ills of America.
Tell me.
Well,
I don't disagree. I just want to know why you're saying that.
Well, here's my response to somebody, and it's I get downvoted like crazy on the site because it's me arguing with Baldoniites, but in this person in this Warren Zavala deposition, this person
Warren Zavala is
her agent.
Okay, yeah.
So right. Her agent said a bunch of things, and about it had been the most times he'd ever been to a set, or is it a guy? I don't even know.
Yeah, Warren.
It is. Warren, of course, yes. Warren, yeah, so it's like it'd been the most times he'd been to a set, which it was like twice. And, just things like this. This poster said something about how Blake Lively was obviously trying to gun for power. And my response is...
Obviously?
Yeah,
how obviously?
Well, let me see if I can. I guess I'll.
Because she had her agent visit the set.
Here's the stupidity that we live with.
That makes no sense.
This person said
everybody in Hollywood has a representative.
You can find this post on Reddit. I'm going to keep the names out of it because I'm not kind to this stuff. So I'm not going to. You can find this stuff on Reddit under Baldoni. No, if it ends in lawsuits. There were a couple of things I thought were interesting and revealing in the Zavala. Is this you or them? Them.
Okay.
The Zavala transcript. First, he says that he said he visited the set twice, once in the first phase and then again in the second. He also says that it's more, visits than he's ever done in his 24 years working as an agent. We didn't see his answer to the follow-up question asking why. But I'm assuming he said that, that to suggest how bad things were on set. So obviously they're saying, but I'm assuming it has something to do with, how bad things were on set. But there's a good example of exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm assuming.
Well, it's not just that. It's a good assumption because what they're neglecting to mention is that they, on the second phase of shooting, she had already done the 17-point demand letter where she's like, I'm not returning to production until you guys get all these protections.
Let me continue. I don't want to argue this one line for line because I want to get to my point. If you don't mind, this was interesting to me because according to Megan Twohey, Blake herself said that she experienced what she experienced wasn't that bad. And listen, this is what's important. This is a very important thing because whether or not that was ever discussed, obviously we've discussed this a lot. It doesn't fucking matter because that's not the crux of the issue here. The crux of the issue is I've complained. I want it to stop. That's what an SH complaint is.
She told Megan Twohey what? According to this
person, she said that Megan Twohey said that Blake herself said that what she had experienced wasn't that bad. And it wouldn't surprise me if that was true because what she experienced was really annoying and harassing. That's what harassment is. It doesn't have to be some kind of egregious act that lands somebody in jail or should strip them of all their dignities. It's a fucking problem. And the problem got exacerbated by them not handling it and then even furthermore by them retaliating. And that's where this thing goes. It's just super
weird that, okay, Blake Lively didn't think it was that bad. But to me, if the producer of the film I'm working on was asked to turn his back and I caught him staring directly at my tits, that would be a big fucking problem.
For sure.
So what do they mean it's not that bad?
Well,
like that is a huge.
I'm just saying what they said.
That is a huge SH.
This is like, let's not get down the wrong path here because this is what's important to me is I'm examining the fucking Baldoniite here. The Baldoni believer. Like this is the Baldoni believer. And I'm trying to figure out this puzzle. Because so just stay with me. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to break this down a little bit. So they continue on. They say, so that is to say, by the way, that means that maybe Megan Twohey didn't say that and Blake didn't say that. I have no idea where these people get their information because they are cooked. We'll continue. To me, the fact that he was even on set when he never went before just suggests that this was really a setup from the beginning by Blake to exploit any issues on set, no matter how small, to pressure and extort her way into taking over the film.
That
Can
is
you
such
fucking
a
believe
leap.
this? Can you believe that? Like, I can't believe they can't see
First of all,
the gap between where their feet were relatively on the ground.
How does that even accomplish the goal, though? She's just
Exact-
having her representative visit set. That's not a big fucking deal. That's not somebody swinging their weight around. That person's a fucking agent at an agency. Everybody has them in Hollywood.
Yeah. And,
What
and
is-
the kind of power that they exude isn't the kind of power that shows up on a set. It shows up before the set. Their power is before the set.
Meanwhile, Sony is sending in producers and then scolding over text message Jamie Heath saying, you're not playing ball. You're going to damage this film. But somehow Blake Lively is like swinging her dick around the set. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
So they make this up, right?
Why is it always like a scapegoat on her when somebody else is being like more rude, more overbearing, like more like if Wayfarer and Baldoni has a beef with anybody, it's definitely fucking Sony. That's the only evidence that we're seeing is them arguing with Sony all the time.
Let me continue. Also, he said that the next time she was upset was when they went to test the 2 film edits. And Garofalo mentions that Blake didn't know about it. I had wondered what made her go completely scorched earth even after she landed control of the project. I know that she was upset that Wayfarer put up a fight over the producer credit.
Yeah, that's it.
But she did eventually win that fight. But now we know that it was actually started with the testing of the film cuts. I just found it interesting, and I think it really upset her because her plan was to use It Ends With Us to position herself as a real power player in the industry. A writer, an editor, a producer, a savior. And so my response, because, get the fuck out of here with this. Would you get the fuck out of here with this shit? So my response was, why would she have to establish herself as a real power player in the industry with It Ends With Us if she already had the power to trap and extort Sony, Taylor Swift, WME, Colleen Hoover, the New York Times, and most of the cast? And she was able to corrupt the federal judge. Like, how much fucking power do you need? That is Donald Trump-like, right? That is like presidential power-like. Short of being the president of the United States, who has enough power to corrupt the industry thoroughly, right? Like from fucking skin to bone.
You're conflating the timeline a little bit because if she exerted power over the New York Times you mentioned, and then a federal judge, that happened after this controversy.
Believers.
But already she is powerful enough, according to them, to control Sony and Sony's decisions, which is just fucking bonkers to even think about.
I completely disagree with that, what you just said, because their assessment is that she does have the power to do these things.
Yeah.
They constantly talk about her corrupting Taylor Swift back then. They talk about her, and Ryan Reynolds circling the wagon around this thing and figuring out how they're going to fucking lasso it all up and planning the whole thing. I mean, this fucking poster just said, it tells me she was planning it from the fucking beginning. Like, this is all this absolute ridiculously fucking made up fucking bullshit that has no basis in reality. Blake Lively does not and will never have that kind of power in her life. She will never have the kind of power that could literally from skin to bone do the entire industry of fucking Hollywood.
I don't understand why
the fucking federal court system on top of it.
I know, it's absurd, but I don't understand why these people don't, if they're trying to put pieces together and create a narrative, right, about what actually happened, why aren't they reading the evidence? It's all spelled out. The reason why she went scorched earth, according to these people, are using that language. Blake Lively went scorched earth. There is a message that they quote. They don't have her actual quote in there, but apparently it was relayed to them that she said, all goodwill between us is lost. So that's what I'm assuming they're talking about, where she went scorched earth, where she was like, fuck this, I'm not dealing with these people anymore.
It doesn't matter.
There is a place where there is a part in the timeline, a long part where she is talking with Justin Baldoni, and then she stops talking with anybody. Jamie Heath tries to get her on the phone call, and she's like, everything you're going to tell me that you need to tell me, you're going to tell me in writing. Like, there's definitely like a time where she was like, fuck these people.
Enough's
I'm not
enough.
fucking working with them.
Enough's enough.
Yeah, enough's enough. And that the catalyst for that is very clear. It was when Jamie Heath tried to play Keep Away with her PGA credit. And at that moment, she was already producing for him and Sony.
Yeah, to be clear about that.
She was doing producing work.
Let me interject, not just doing producer work. I want to just interject with delivering Taylor Swift, delivering a song from a new album.
Oh my God.
From Taylor Swift.
It's crazy.
Is one of the most massive producer moves you can do.
That's why she was pissed.
She fucking, and she did a lot more than that.
Yeah, of course she did. And Sony recognized it. Sony praised her for it. Sony was grateful. But Wayfair was like, actually, we don't want you to get credit for the thing that you're actually doing to enrich us, our company, and our property. Like, she's doing the producing work. They don't want to give her the producing credit. So she was like, all right, fuck these people. Like, I don't want to work with people like that. And I'm not going to even fucking talk to them. And that's why after that, you see every single correspondence from Blake go through a Sony executive to Jamie Heath or to Wayfair. You know, like, this is the difference. I mean, that was the point where everything changed. And I don't know why they're fucking making up this like weird, like imaginary narrative when it's just spelled out very clearly. Like, if you look at the timeline, that's the thing that happened. And that was her reaction to it. It's like very fucking clear. It was because Jamie Heath was like giving her the ultimatum that she had to sign the contract, which they would be able to argue blocks her from having a producer credit. She's asking him for the PGA and he's gatekeeping that, even though, according to the PGA Guild's website, their members are mandated to mentor. You know, like they're a organization that helps like protect and educate new producers. And Jamie Heath had no fucking business gatekeeping that. You're supposed to bring new producers into the guild, you know, if you're a member. So I think she recognized that and she was like...
I don't know if you're supposed to bring new producers into the guild, but you are supposed to mentor the ones that are
You're not supposed to gatekeep. When she's producing for your fucking film, you're not... And she wants to have a letter of recommendation, you fucking write it like all day.
To me, there is only one reason that you would deny somebody the credit of PGA after they delivered to you arguably the biggest pop star in the world, a new song off of a new album for your $26 million movie.
Yeah.
Okay, just to put that into perspective.
It's crazy.
Taylor Swift made $33 million in a weekend without a movie in movie theaters. Didn't even have a movie. Did it without a movie.
No, you could see the Sony executives are so grateful.
It's the fucking craziest thing. They have the most, you know, financially powerful woman in entertainment on side because
of Blake Lively.
Blake Lively delivered that. So it's...
You started out by saying the reason he would be able to block her from getting a PGA. I'm waiting on what that explanation is.
No. There's no, I'm sorry. I've lost my way.
No, you were saying that the only reason why he could justifiably block her from getting her PGA credit when she's done all these things is why.
There's no reason for him to justifiably what I'm saying is there is no reason for him to justifiably do it. He has no good reason. Oh, Sarah, yeah, you're right. I was about to be totally sarcastic about it. The only reason is misogyny. The only reason is because he hated her or misogyny.
Yeah, and I
he
think
had to hate her as an individual.
She must have recognized that, and that's why she said, "All goodwill between us is lost."
Correct.
If that's an actual quote of hers, it makes perfect sense to me.
He either hated
why
her.
She would say that.
Yeah, he either hated her or he hates women, and it's entirely impossible to know which is which based on their fucking track record. But I can say with some confidence that at the very least he hated Blake Lively, hated her. Because why would you block somebody's career? Why would you try to, especially somebody who has delivered to you the owner of that movie? Like, we're not talking about like Jamie Heath's just a producer, you know, like was it Cherry Black?
Todd Black?
Right? Todd
I'm going to
Black.
put on a little Post-it note on your computer screen.
Fuck names, bro. Todd Black, right? Mm-hmm. Todd Black didn't know shit. He's just a producer on the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's not Jamie Heath. Jamie Heath is the owner of the fucking movie. So the benefit is directly to this man. The amount that this woman, Blake Lively, delivered, the amount of value that she brought to the fucking trailer got 100 million views in 24 hours, and there's no way that was because of Blake Lively. There's no way that was because of Colleen Hoover, and there's no way that was because of Justin Baldoni. Mm-hmm. It was because of fucking Taylor Swift's song. That's what blew that shit up. That's what blew that shit up. That fucking massive opening, that $300+ million fucking box office, a significant portion of that belongs in credit-wise to Blake Lively and to Taylor Swift.
It's just such an incredible level of celebrity. Like, isn't it weird how she's like she's such a, I don't want to say Midas touch, because the true story of Midas is that greed will get you killed. But so like,
well, be careful, Taylor Swift. That's all I have to say about that. You know, this is the temp.
Well, it was Midas's own hubris that got him in trouble. It's like one of the great hubris stories where he was like, yeah, sure, it would be really great if everything I touched turned into the gold. That would be fucking awesome. I'd be like the king of everything. And so he loved it for a day or two until he couldn't eat anything, because you can't eat gold. Everything he touched to eat, he was like, oh shit. So he died of hunger.
I thought you were going to say he invented gloves.
No, I think he was saved.
I think
he was saved he was spared, but he learned the lesson. Anyway, so she doesn't have the Midas touch, but it's like that, right? Where like everything she touches turns to gold.
She is an absolute gift to anybody that gets to cry. When Taylor Swift says, hey, I'd like to feature you on the song, or let's do a song together, everything changes for you in that fucking year of your life, or that next decade.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just everything fucking changes for you. And so when this woman, she's like, you know, there was one other person that I saw kind of have that fucking ability, and it was Oprah. Like Oprah could just like point at something and then everybody just did it.
It's amazing.
It was like waves of people would move toward product. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she manipulated the fuck out of that. And, you know, Taylor Swift has this similar kind of majesty, you know. It's fucking
awesome.
Amazing, the majesty of Taylor Swift. And she brought the majesty of Taylor Swift to that movie. And for that, Jamie Heath and Justin Baldoni should have been indebted to her for life. They should have been indebted to her for life.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Blake Lively recognized that. Where she was like, the fucking nerve of these assholes to treat me like this after all of the conflict that they had. Remember, just in the first month of shooting, there was like so many complaints where she was like, guys, get your fucking shit together and quit harassing the ladies on the set. Me, my assistant, these other fucking actors, like, what is your fucking problem? And then even after that, she's like still attaching more assets to their project after filming during post, you know? And then Jamie Heath has the fucking nerve to tell her that she doesn't deserve a fucking producer's credit. I'd be pissed, bro.
No, I'd be like off the handle mad. I would be absolutely irate.
It's just like, okay, if you want to characterize her as going scorched earth, it's not like it's not justified. You have to look at the whole thing that she dealt with these fucking people.
Let me add some more fuel to her situation. So if she doesn't get that credit, if she just sticks with this executive producer credit, mm-hmm. it looks like the producers
got a Taylor Swift song?
Got a Taylor Swift fucking attachment to their fucking project, bro.
That's true, yeah.
So they end up taking credit for this massive attachment.
Oh, that's true. So it's not just that that Jamie Heath was gatekeeping her credit, but that he was actually claiming her credit.
He was lifting his own. He was elevating his own by default, bro. You know, I mean, yes, people will talk about it.
Is he a producer?
I mean, obviously,
I don't even know if he's a producer.
Obviously, Taylor Swift will talk. Yes, he is. Or it doesn't matter if it's his own. I believe he was a producer, though.
Let me see. Oh, there's a million James Heaths. Here it is.
We'll just go to it ends with us. Producer credits.
I'm gonna look. I know there's like a dozen producers.
There always are.
Yep. Okay, so is that all from that thread?
Yeah, and Ratchag is talking about going after content creators. She didn't go after content creators. She's in a litigation. She has a right to discovery. She alleges that these people are using content creators to smear her name.
The defendants in the lawsuit.
The defendants.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Thank you. The defendants are using, through their publicists, through their agents, and I guess those are defendants as well, they are using these creators, and I believe it to be true, by the way, to disparage her and to smear her name in the public. And so she tried to get correspondences directly related to them and them only. And you guys are all talking about this bullshit about her going after content creators, and she literally did nothing to them.
No, she's going after the defendants in the lawsuit, like everybody does.
If these fucking creators would be embarrassed by the fact that maybe their correspondences are fucking are an actual participation in the smearing of somebody's name, somebody they don't know, but somebody that they're doing it for in order to gain favor, an opportunity for themselves. Literally, they were fucking touring, dude. They were doing fucking live fucking shows. It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous, dude.
Okay.
So these fucking poor victimized fucking Perez Hilton was completely a flat fucking tire until he blew all this bullshit up and you bought it. You bought it. And anybody who was out there touting this fucking nonsense that Blake Lively went after anybody. The only thing that woman has ever done is defended her position.
You're shouting.
Well, it's just fucking outrageous to me. It's like, come on, like get your feet on the ground.
It should be really clarified.
What did she do to Andy Signor? What?
Like they're really exploiting that position that they were put in. These content creators are exploiting people's ignorance about how the legal system works. Because when you're subpoenaed for information, it shouldn't cost you anything to provide information about the defendant in a lawsuit.
Right.
They're not asking for information about them. And if you guys don't understand, there's already the Stored Communications Act that protects them from having to divulge any of their own private personal information. They won't even have to divulge the content of messages, just that the messages occurred between the defendants and the subpoenaed party is all that they're able to obtain. And the content creators should know this, except they're pretending like they don't because they're exploiting you guys for views. They want to seem like they're beat up or dragged into a lawsuit when they're not named in a lawsuit. They haven't been sued. They're just being subpoenaed for information about the defendants in a lawsuit. And providing that information doesn't cost them anything. They just have to talk to the law firm or whatever their liaison is and just be like, yeah, I'll send over that, what do you need? Like, what messages do you need?
Well,
like,
first of all, they denied it. They were able to hide behind the privileges written to protect journalism, to protect journalists, right? And I understand that journalists abuse it, and so why not them too?
No, but it doesn't matter because the defendants of the lawsuit are claiming that they had a list of content creators that they used, right? These are internal communications between them.
Yeah.
Blake Lively wants to know who also was involved in these communications.
Good night, Fuzz. Yeah.
So she subpoenaed these content creators, and the content creators making content about how they're being attacked by Blake Lively is a complete distortion of the facts. It's deliberately done to exploit the situation to get them more clicks and more views. And so they're rage baiting all of you guys, and you're being fucking manipulated by this. Yeah. Like, being subpoenaed in a lawsuit in which you're not named is not a problem.
It's not an attack on you.
You're not being attacked. You're not being silenced. Yeah. None of this is happening.
No.
So people are even talking about their First Amendment rights, which protects you from the government infringing on your freedom of speech. It has nothing to do with the fucking civil court. Right? Like, it's just so crazy the way that they've exploited this as if it's some big fucking catastrophe. And it literally is not. Like, it
literally is not.
It's a catastrophe for the fucking defendants who are being caught in lies by the plaintiff in the case, Blake Lively, Like, it's trouble for them. But these fucking content creators shouldn't be losing any fucking sleep over this.
No, they weren't. They were exploiting it. They were exploiting
they're fucking rage baiting.
That's all they do. They're just sitting there trying to.
It's all lies.
It's all about gathering money and whatever they can. It's just all about improvement.
They're fucking tricking you guys.
Yeah, they're exploiting you, and they're doing it. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would sleep well at night. Andy Signor is screaming at me that Blake Lively is just like Tobey Maguire. He doesn't know Tobey Maguire. He doesn't know anything about Tobey Maguire, and he doesn't know anything about fucking Blake Lively.
It's weird that he's screaming at you, like he's attempting to align with you so that you'll get on his side about this other person, right? But he's so wrong. Because you're like, I know what the fuck Tobey Maguire is, right? Because he ruined your life.
Yes.
Blake Lively isn't doing anything like that. Justin Baldoni is just fine. He has exactly the amount of business that he had before before Blake Lively sued him. He has just the amount of money that he had before Blake Lively. Well, not anymore, because he's going to lose his defense in a lawsuit, right? And have to pay fucking damages. But like, he didn't lose anything from It Ends With Us. He's talking about extortion. Like, the fucking jury is going to have to see evidence of what was lost. If she stole something, what was lost?
Yeah.
He can't show that.
There's no extortion. We know there's no extortion.
The judge asked him to, and he didn't, and so he fucking lost his lawsuit got dismissed.
There's no lawsuit accusing her of anything because the accusations were thrown out.
Yeah.
Based on a lack of fucking evidence. And he said even if you had the evidence to support these claims are outrageous. They don't apply. They don't even they don't comport with law. They're like, you're confused. What you're doing here is confused. Because it wasn't confused. It was designed to be able to put up a website so that people could show up here and buy into this absolute fucking garbage. And
what's interesting
and
about
allow
that
website? Allow that to spoil your opinion of somebody. Like, I'm not saying you liked Blake Lively to begin with, but who cares? The title of this, is how Blake Lively, why Blake Lively, your feelings of Blake Lively isn't going to matter in this case, or how much you fucking think she's a bad person, or how much Blake Baldoni thinks she's a bad person. What person from high school went to high school with her thinks she's a bad person? None of that's going to fucking matter.
Bad people get sexually harassed in the workplace illegally and then retaliated against illegally all the time. I'm sure this happens all the time.
It just
and they're probably not
matter.
nice people, but they deserve to have the law abided, like all of us, because we're trying to live in a fucking society.
Until they show some evidence that shows Blake Lively conspiring to do something to Justin Baldoni, which is, all this is so absurd. Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath were collectively with Steve Sarowitz, the people who were literally in the position to gain the most out of this movie. Out of every single person living and breathing involved in It Ends With Us, the three individuals would gain the most.
Nobody on Sony's side?
No, not even close. It's not even close. That's a corporation, bro. Sony's going to take its big chunk of the pie, but it's going to get the lesser end of it.
Oh, so you're talking about
and it's being spread out. It's going in some Christmas bonuses, right? Because it's a big hit. So maybe show up in some bonus checks at the end of the fucking year. But that's just all part of your job as a salaried Sony employee. Jamie Heath, Justin Baldoni, and Steve Sarowitz are the three people who absolutely have the most to gain out of this arrangement, and did gain the most out of this arrangement. They are the three biggest shareholders in a probably near $70 million pot of money. 70 million fucking dollars. They're the biggest participant of that. According to Blake Lively's contract, they might have had to cut her a check for $7 million.
So what about it?
What do you mean, what about it?
What were you saying that for?
Well,
you were saying that they had the most to gain.
Yeah.
But so what?
And they're burning it down.
Oh yeah, right. And
they're sabotaging their own fucking.
I know.
They're cutting off their nose. Have you ever seen a more clear fucking fumble in your fucking entire life? Literally had one of the biggest A-listers in their movie, lined it up with a fucking big giant 104-year-old, mammoth studio in Sony. Landed by virtue of their relationship with that A-list actor who's also fucking majorly connected because she's been in the business for 26 years at that point. They fucking had all that lined up, took a $26 million budget and turned it into a $300+ million box office. A thing that is so rare in Hollywood, especially
it's super
now.
Freaking sad when you think about how they had everything going for them.
They had the whole thing. They had the whole world.
Justin Baldoni couldn't stand that he said something inappropriate and somebody reflected that back to him.
This is where
what's super weird about it is he knows he said something inappropriate. He recognizes this. Anybody who says that there wasn't SH on set, just look. It's so weird about that website, Yeah. Everybody was reading that website.
Yeah, because you can literally win her case by just going over
Baldoni's
that website.
own documents affirm her case. Yes, there was SH on
complaints,
set.
yes.
Yeah. Page 33 of his timeline document summarizes all the times that she complained, but it's elsewhere in the document where they talk about it in the timeline.
But if you're just looking for one or a few examples, go to page 33 of their timeline on their website. And you will find that they acknowledge the SH occurred.
Yep. And he apologizes for it. He recognizes he did harm. For some reason, they can't.
Well, I wouldn't say that he recognizes that he did harm.
He apologizes for it.
I would say that he recognizes
says changes
she
will be
felt
made.
harmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know where they lost it. I know that Justin Baldoni is paranoid and vengeful. simultaneously,
Yeah.
which is a bad thing because you can end up being vengeful about something that didn't actually happen.
Can I interject right now? Because Victoria says, who cares about what happened prior to the 17-point list? She never signed a contract. She's out of gas. It is not uncommon for actors to not sign their contract before or even during or even after production.
The signature.
And that's clear. Let me finish, please.
Yeah.
That's clearly evident right here. And to demonstrate this, Victoria, and this is very important. So listen to this. SONY, you remember when Blake Lively was walking the red carpet or whatever it was, and she was in an interview, and in that interview she talked about how Ryan Reynolds ended up doing the rewrite on the rooftop scene, and it turned out to be the scene that everyone loved the most. Remember that? It was a shitty comment by her. She said that without the writer knowing. I know all that stuff, and I'm on your side, if that's the side you're on, that it was a shitty thing for her to do. And so that aside, you also may remember then, if you remember that the very next day, the next fucking day, SONY had paperwork ready for signature. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because what Ryan Reynolds would have done there is authorship, right? It's got WGA issues. He's now a co-author of the script. He's altered a scene, and if it's significant, if it's so significant that scene then might give him authorship and then give him certain copyright protections of his own work, that he would have to sign off to the studio immediately in order to protect the asset. So, knowing that SONY would the next day after hearing that fucking thing went down, get a contract out there immediately signed so there is no fucking claims against that movie to Ryan fucking Reynolds, why would they let Blake Lively go make a movie without a signed contract? And I'll tell you why. Because in California, there's a meeting of the minds. She's already fucking engaged in the agreement. That agreement was sent to her agent. That agreement was sent to probably other representatives of hers, like her lawyer. And she, of course, also got a copy of that agreement. And then she showed up for work. That's as good as a fucking signature.
No, it's true, dude. WME is not going to fuck around. If something matters and it's not done, they're going to get it done.
Sony's not going to fuck around. Yes. No, it's not WME.
Sony is not going to fuck around.
You could say would fuck around because it's to their client's benefit. If you want to cook up some fucking hair schemed idea, that she's got some fucking plan to not sign a contract so she could get something more out of them, right? That's not how it fucking works. She didn't sign the contract and Sony was okay with it because she performed the fucking contract. And the only reason the signing of the contract became an issue, so that I can get right into that for you, is probably because, and I'm going to speculate to some degree, but I think it fits quite comfortably in this puzzle. And that is that Jamie Heath was trying to get her to sign that contract because if she did, then he would have ink to paper on the executive producer credit. She was in the process of trying to upgrade that credit to a PGA credit, and rightfully so because she was doing producer level work. She was doing, I would argue, more producer level work than Jamie Heath was. And I would argue that based on the fucking evidence that both of them have put fucking forward, and I've looked at it. All right? So if she puts pen to paper, he can then have this really strong position on it, be like, you signed. Whereas now she's saying, hey, I'm going to leverage that in some way to try and switch that credit over.
Not just leverage, but she's
sign.
like, actually, since I came onto the project, because remember, Justin Baldoni and his lawyers admit that on the day that she signed on to be an actress, she was trying to get a producer role in the film.
From day one.
They admit this.
Yes.
So she
Sony
was
and fucking Wayfire
and she was forthright about that from the beginning. Well, It turns out that Sony ended up using her producing skills. So she was simply trying to get credit for what she had done, and if she had signed the contract, then Jamie would have been able to block her from that.
Yeah,
it's
Victoria's
interesting.
saying, what did she perform in the contract act exactly? Victoria, she's in the movie.
Showing up to work.
She's in the movie.
She showed up to work.
She showed up at the marketing. She did all the marketing. She showed up at the red carpet affair.
Yeah, everything in her contract that we saw her.
She made the movie.
What is it called? Her.
That's exactly my point. Is the minute she stepped into rehearsal, the minute she did anything that was in that contract. So if that contract says this, you show up to work on this day or when you get your call sheet, if she shows up, it's game on, man. And everything in that contract stands.
Anyway,
so Jamie Heath she could have refused to sign that contract, and every single fucking judge in California would have enforced it. Every single judge in California would have enforced that contract by virtue of the fact that she showed up and performed in the film, period.
I was talking to some lawyer was answering questions in a comment section somewhere online, and they were saying that once the work about the contract, right? So the contract is about work that's going to be done. Once the work commences, then the signature is immaterial. That is an agreement that's being executed. She said the signature is immaterial. And I learned this from your lawsuit. Jerry Metters was really clear about this in his deposition when I was reading his depositions, where he came on as a producer for Don's Plum, and he was saying that all the contracts needed to be sorted before sale because it's the distributor who cares about the contracts. And it's very common, I've learned from you and others, that that a lot of films will have all of these like contracts floating around in the ether, but it isn't until the film is finally being prepared for final sale and distribution that everything has to get collected, everything has to be verified, all the contracts have to be finished. And that is why you can see in the text message between a Sony executive and Sony marketing executive with Jamie Heath, when he is trying to get Blake Lively to sign a contract, the Sony executives push back on him. And they're like, hey, you need to postpone that because we're trying to get Blake Lively to get this really big shit fucking song in our movie. And you're going to piss her off with this fucking contract needling all the time. Like giving her fucking ultimatums. Like she can't have more days in the editing room when everybody else is fine with it except for you. And you're trying to get her to sign a contract. Sony, who's the distributor who needs those signatures, is the one who's telling him to back off on it. So that's how immaterial the contracts were the signature was to everybody that was involved in the film, except for Jamie Heath, which just affirms for me that he had this ulterior motive where he was trying to block her from being able to obtain the producer credit that wasn't written into her contract.
Yeah, exactly right. It's all a bunch of stupidity. But you know, my example, I think, is the most perfect example because it shows you where Sony, where it mattered. Like Sony's not going to let Blake Lively run around with an unsigned contract. And Victoria says that she thinks that I'm wrong about her performing her contract. Well, if you can bring up any proof that she breached her contract, if there's any lawsuits, for example, that have been filed to breach contract, or was there one that got thrown out? I'm not sure. She so far exceeded her contract, it's absolutely ridiculous that you would say that. Jeremy, right? What's up? So Victoria, you're not playing fair in terms of, you know, just like, dude, I don't know why you are someone who refuses to just like accept the absolute fact on the table. And by the way, I know this, dude. I had unsigned contracts in a movie.
It's not just
you know what the fucking distributor said to me? It's not a big deal. We're good. Oh, thanks.
It's not just what we're saying about it. It's literally what happened. She was working all the way through post-production without a signature on that contract. If it mattered
through the entire production.
If it mattered so much to Jamie Heath in post-production, why the fuck didn't it matter to Jamie Heath before then? He was around her all day on set. He was showing pictures of his nude wife to her on the fucking lunch break.
Staring at her boobs.
If he cared about the fucking contract signature, why wasn't he obtaining it then? You know what I mean? Like
Victoria, who says that the law is on Baldoni's side. Where was the law when they threw out his case? What are you talking about? You're absolutely unhinged. Where was the law when he threw out his case, Victoria?
Do you want to hear from the chat?
Oh my God, Victoria. Listen, yes, I do. Victoria, honestly, bro, you've got to stop and think. And if you don't, you're just lost in this fucking vortex of fucking lies that they created for you. Did you hear what you said? You said she didn't perform her contract. There's no breach of contract by anybody. Not even Wayfarer. Wayfarer did not sue her for a breach of contract. If they did, it got thrown out of court.
They never provided the contract they said was at issue.
What part of it getting thrown out of court? Do you not understand? She's more powerful than a federal judge. She's corrupted a federal judge. So she's corrupted WME. She's corrupted a 100-year-old studio in Sony. She's corrupted Taylor Swift. She's corrupted a federal judge. Like, how many things have to hit you in the face before you wake up? Victoria, wake up. No, I'm begging you because you're a part of what's wrong in the world today. You've got to wake up. I mean, there's just bags and bags and bags and bags of truth getting spilled all over you and you just shake it off like it's not there and you're like, nope.
Hey, so it's interesting too.
It's damaging to you and to me.
Somebody's saying the law is on Baldoni's side. Blake Lively cites 4 different labor laws in her causes of action in her lawsuit. 4 different labor laws that Justin Baldoni violated when he didn't follow legal protocol when she made SH allegations on set.
Yeah.
And then also retaliated against her.
Yeah.
That's 4 different laws, labor laws.
Law is the
As
truth.
the employer, he was not allowed to do that.
So this is it's just.
Can we give some love to other people in the chat?
Yeah. One last thing for Victoria is that because she illustrates for me how they move the goalposts, and this is true. She's actually she's basically just reiterating their bullshit, and so she says, "No way! I think the judge is giving her this is their new how they move the goalposts because they fucking keep losing."
Yeah.
So, no way. The judge is giving her a lot of leeway. He's giving her leeway because he's going to drop the hammer when it comes to the law.
How does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just utterly delusional.
Why
so
would
yes,
he
Victoria, our conversation is thin. You're welcome to hang around,
How does
but
that
I'm not
make any
talking to you
sense?
no more.
Why would he give her leeway? Continue to allow the lawyers to bill her
It's
time
unhinged.
if he already knows that she is not abiding by the law.
It's just so unhinged.
There's no way that he would burden his court with more work.
It's not a game.
Stringing her along.
He has a job to do.
To whose benefit?
He has a whole case log of just fucking
of course.
many cases.
That's impossible.
It's
impossible.
It's just living in this solipsistic bubble that just is going to pop. And suddenly Victoria's going to be like, oh my God, these are real people. Everybody is real? Oh, fuck. I was not planning on that.
Future Foz, I guess.
Future Foz.
Wants to know, Dale, who is the nicest person you knew in Hollywood?
I don't know. I'm just going to throw out Pedro Pascal because I can't think of somebody offhand, but there were many.
Yeah, he was super nice.
I mean, as far as people that you would know, you know what I mean? Like Trevor Lasser is a fucking wonderful dude. You don't know who that is. He's an actor. He's a singer,
Who are the nicest celebrities you knew in Hollywood?
Yeah, so Pedro Pascal is definitely one of them. I thought he was he is probably remains a wonderful fucking fellow. I don't know, who else? I'm kind of bitter right now. Let me see. Let me see if I can clear the windshield and see if I can come up with a answer to that question. Who Brittany Murphy was fucking heaven.
Brittany Murphy.
She's obviously gone, but she was heaven to me. She was an angel, and I write about it in the book. She came into my life at this perfect moment, and really I didn't want to name drop particularly on her after she's passed. So
right. Because people can say anything they want about somebody who can't defend themselves.
So I just wanted to give it a glancing moment and be like, hey, here's a moment where this girl touched me, but I can't even tell you how many times she just made me feel better. Like RD and I were living with a sadness in our eyes 24/7. There was no smile that didn't have the sadness.
That's sad.
And everyone saw it. We were in such a terrible place. We weren't even the same color as everybody else. And Brittany saw that and man. Guilty Angel, I know Pedro. He is not a wolf in sheep's clothing. I actually fucking know that guy. You know what I'm saying, Guilty? I know her. I know him.
I think I really appreciate.
Bullshit.
I do appreciate Guilty Angel for always being skeptical. I feel like that's kind of a strength. It has to be you have to temper it with some discernment, right? So not everybody is a demon.
I knew him.
Some people are demons though.
I knew him from I knew him well from 1996 until 2010. Right? It's probably around 2010 when I probably was the last time I really talked to him. And then that's when I split up with my wife and I kind of went into my own depression and I kind of didn't talk to any of my friends. Mm-hmm. So I knew Pedro Pascal, for 14 years, thereabouts. So I can tell you a little bit about him.
He's wonderful.
He's so fucking wonderful. There's no wolf. Unless
he's a sheep in sheep's clothing.
No, he might turn into a wolf in his own way.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if you fuck over one of his friends,
one of his friends or his family or whatever, if you turn on him, his community, he's a loyal stand-up.
No, this is true. He I think J.K. Rowling still hasn't gotten over his lashing of her on social media, and he's totally right. Because she's punching down and picking on people who don't deserve it.
Guilty, you cannot be sorry, but what you're talking is bullshit. What you're saying is garbage. It's worthless. It has no fucking reality. So I'm just telling you right now that you're just spreading garbage. That's fucking trash. There's no reality in that. You know, you're just making something up about somebody because you don't want to like somebody.
It is
and you should really fucking question that about yourself. Like, have a look at yourself and say, why would I do that? Why would I do that to somebody you don't know?
Okay, but listen.
Like, this fucking channel is fighting about this whole fucking idea of trying to fucking destroy people reputationally. And you're doing that, like, you know, and you're like, sorry, not sorry. And that's fucking gross. Just telling you, it's gross. I love you. You come to this fucking live every day. That's gross. That's all. You know, I'm not going to fucking play with that. That's garbage. So I'm not talking about Pedro with you no more. I'm not. Guilty. You can go talk to a fucking wall when it comes to that, or somebody else who's interested in your garbage, but I ain't got nothing.
It is really strange. Like, people are thinking that maybe it was J.K. Rowling that's behind it, but there was like a hate campaign. And all of the people, I took some screenshots because it was really amazing how it was just like, you would go into one of these threads on Twitter where people are just like hating on Pedro Pascal and calling him like there's this
a
predator or something,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the entire thread of people who were hating on him were all blue checks. They're all like blue checks on Twitter. And I was like, okay, so these people are like paid by publicists. Like, these aren't real people. They're either bot accounts or fucking people that are like paid to spread this nonsense. And J.K. Rowling is worth like a fucking gazillion dollars. So if she thought that she didn't like the way that he fucking badmouthed her, even though she was deserving of it, she could fucking turn that switch and have everybody start attacking Pedro Pascal. Like, no problem. We're seeing how this happens all the time with these fucking publicists. They're shameless. So I think that's what happened. Because remember, it was like 1 month where everybody was going after Pedro Pascal and then they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like somebody paid the publicist to turn on the fucking hate switch for a month, and then it ended. And that's it. And hopefully this, they're hoping that the story sticks, that he's some sort of fucking predator or wolf in sheep's clothing or whatever. But it wasn't based on anything.
This dog like sees them stressed out, so he's like, this dog's like, hey, come on, come over here, what's going on?
Oh, I know, she's such a Velcro dog.
She's just like straight up like, hey, come over here, put your hand on my head, and
you'll feel better, I promise.
Just put your hand on my head, and you'll watch it all just comes back.
Future Foz is asking, what am I missing about the supposed extortion claims by Baldoni's agent? Isn't it the opposite, that he is actually on Blake's side?
What? There was
that page of the transcript of Baldoni's agent talking about how there was extortionate behavior. We talked about this yesterday, where we were just talking about like how his agent is only going to know what Baldoni's telling him. So if Baldoni wants to tell the world and all of Hollywood that Blake Lively is extorting him, he's going to tell his agent and hoping it spreads. But that doesn't mean the agent has firsthand information about any of this stuff.
Yeah. The Guilty Angel said I'm attacking her. No, I'm not. I'm saying don't spread lies on my like in our chat about people you don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not attacking you. I'm saying don't attack Pedro Pascal. I'm saying you don't know him from ass, so don't fucking talk about it. You know, at least not on this channel. You want to go spread nonsense about people, don't do it here. You know, I
think you should actually be really skeptical about bad stories you hear about Pedro, because J.K. Rowling has the ability to just fucking bully him. You just can't trust that any of this is true. If you look at who's printing,
I have a 14-year relationship with him, and that's what I'm going to trust.
No. Yeah. I'm not saying
not
versus you. No, I'm saying when you're
Yeah.
out there and you're hearing stories about Pedro Pascal where people are like, an anonymous source says this, or the whisperings of this, like they don't actually have any fucking sources or anything. It's all just assumptions people are making and paranoid fucking fantasies about him. But if you look at who is saying it, it's the tabloid magazines, which are paid for by the fucking publicists, right?
Yeah.
And it's these fucking blue check accounts and these fucking, like these gossip columns that are paid for by fucking publicists. It's like, you can't trust this information.
Guilty Angel, what's weird is that you feel the need to spread rumors about people that you don't know anything about. That's what's weird. And I did not attack you. And, you can say I did, and it still won't make it true. All I did was tell you to stop spreading bullshit about somebody you don't know anything about. And you said that you weren't going to. And so, you're not going to fucking, that's it,
Hanada is clarifying that what Blake said when she said it wasn't that bad, she was saying it wasn't as bad as the retaliation. She was mentioning that the retaliation was even worse. Hey, can you stop?
Like, guys, don't fight in the chat, all right? Like, I'm arguing with Guilty Angel because Guilty Angel said that he's a sheep, and you can say whatever you want, but when you call somebody a sheep's in wolf's clothing, give me a second. When you say that he's a sheep, that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, you're implying that he's a bad dude and that he's going to do something bad and that he's trying to mislead people, and that's such fucking garbage. And so I'm not gonna tolerate that from you or from anybody in this channel, and especially people who I consider friendly, one of our friends. You're one of our friends. If you're one of our friends, I'm asking you not to do that. You want to be, belligerent about it, then yeah, I'm going to be argumentative. But that's between me and Guilty Angel. You guys don't have to take on that fight. That's nobody else's problem. That's my problem with Guilty Angel, But, don't sit here and challenge my 14-year relationships, and I won't challenge any of yours. Like, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to being level-headed. Like, what drives me crazy is that I'm sitting here, I'm telling you I have a 14-year relationship with somebody. I'm telling you that person is wonderful from fucking head to toe. And then I'll stop, Guilty Angel. Go. If you're feeling attacked, go. I'm not going to block you. You should just leave. Nobody's asking you to stay here. This is a totally optional space for you.
I wouldn't mind moving on to another topic.
Yeah, sure.
Did you hear what Hinata said?
No, what?
What Blake said... we were talking earlier about how Blake apparently said that the SH wasn't that bad, but that's taken out of context. Hinata is saying that what Blake said was it wasn't as bad as the retaliation. Obviously, she suffered much worse from their retaliation.
Sure.
She was mentioning the retaliation was even worse, says Hinata.
So more stuff taken out of context. What I love about it being taken out of context, though, is that, again, they're trying to make something up that doesn't matter. Because if it wasn't that bad, and because it doesn't have to be that bad for them to retaliate, it doesn't mean that they didn't retaliate. It doesn't mean that they didn't break laws. So that's what's up.
The RACAG. I don't know what this is. RACHAG. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. This username.
They've been around. They talk in the comments.
RACHAG?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Okay. Did Justin break any laws? Listening to lawyers, she has a problematic case, especially with the Stephanie Jones Van Zam lawsuit.
No, that's not her problem. Like, this is another thing. Like, you can't blame Blake Lively, right? You can't blame Blake Lively for anything Stephanie Jones did. If Stephanie
Well,
Jones...
the Van Zandt lawsuit, this is the thing, is that this apparently was how Blake Lively obtained those text messages.
Right.
So... apparently,
but she obtained them from the possession. What she needed to do was create a legal channel from Stephanie Jones to her.
Yes.
In order to get them into evidence.
Yes.
Okay. So she was, and so that's the legality, and we can talk about that. But where I'm going with this is that Stephanie Jones is the one who confiscated that phone and didn't do it at the behest of Blake Lively. And even if she did, it wouldn't be Blake Lively's fucking business. That would be Stephanie Jones's business.
This controversy is so bonkers to me because nobody on either side is disputing the verity of those text messages. Those text messages are extraordinarily damning for the fucking PR team that was working on behalf of Wayfair and Justin Baldoni. Those people were on a fucking retaliatory attack campaign of harassment and disparagement of Blake Lively. Yeah. And it is all evidenced in those text messages that no one is disputing.
Right.
That is fucking factual. If these people want to have a dispute about what is admissible, because evidence sometimes can be obtained incorrectly, right? And so the judge would deem it inadmissible. Like, that would be something. I don't know ever following any true crime or legal, courtroom drama or anything where anybody ever fucking gave a shit about admissibility in court. What we care about is, does the evidence exist? Does it say what everybody is claiming it does? And does it show who's at fault for what? Yeah. And it fucking does. That evidence is true. Nobody is fucking disputing it. So what I think is super, super weird is that everybody is it's very clever that they're trying to get you to ignore what's in the evidence by having arguments about whether the evidence was obtained correctly. And so far, none of the courts who have seen this evidence have said it was obtained incorrectly. They just want you guys to chase down this fucking rabbit hole that has nothing to do with anything, when the evidence for their wrongdoing is right there.
Yeah, well, I think it's even more important to recognize that it's not Blake Lively's responsibility for Stephanie Jones to get that evidence. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Blake Lively's decision for Stephanie Jones to let Blake Lively see that evidence. This is all Stephanie Jones. And Stephanie Jones, if she broke laws or if she did things wrong or if whatever is Stephanie Jones's responsibility to that, that's her problem. Blake Lively went through the legal steps that were necessary to get it into evidence. It's in evidence, right? She also exposed it because she had the permission or through that evidentiary proceeding gave her the opportunity to put it in the CRD complaint, right? So it's not Blake Lively's problem if Stephanie Jones did something illegal. That's Stephanie Jones' problem. And if like I'm sitting around and somebody gives me some text messages that they're like, yo, dude, I confiscated. You remember Brian? I fired his ass, bro. Well, dude, Brian is up to some shit, dude, that you should know about.
Yeah, he's trying to fucking attack you and ruin your reputation.
Stephanie Jones read these fucking these voicemails or these fucking messages, and she went to Blake Lively and said, Blake Lively,
she's like, these people are going to get us into a fucking lawsuit and not my business.
And they're trying to kill my business and trying to like hurt my reputation, and I'm not going to have it. So even if what she was doing there, if what Stephanie Jones was doing there was in some way illegal, it was in some way some kind of violation of some law, if for any reason any of what Stephanie Jones did makes any of that evidence inadmissible in this case, it will become inadmissible. It will not change the substance of those texts.
Yeah, those text messages are undisputed.
They're indisputable, and they are, and they implicate without any fucking doubt whatsoever, crisis PR publicists, right? Taking steps to try and smear this woman's name.
So the claims that Blake Lively
at the behest of a client
that are supported by those text messages, the causes of action that Blake Lively has, that's conspiracy, it's aiding and abetting harassment and retaliation in violation of labor laws.
Yeah.
It's false light, invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
There's several claims that are supported by those fucking text messages, and nobody is disputing that those are real.
Yeah.
They're fucked, dude. So if you so this person said Justin could be a horrible person. It's just, did he break any laws? Yes, he broke several laws. Blake Lively has already shown that evidence in court.
Well, it's alleged that he did. Obviously, there's a trial to be had. So we don't know what laws.
He retaliated against her after SH claims.
It appears as though
at least 4 labor laws.
Yeah.
And contract disputes, because it's in Blake Lively's contract.
I just think it's important that we're not the law. We're not judges or juries, and we can't like administer an absolute judgment. We know that it's alleged that he broke laws. If what she alleges is proven in whole or in part, he will have broken laws. Certainly, Blake Lively alleges that he did.
I want to refer people to the last document that was prepared by Blake's lawyers in support of her motion for treble damages. Okay? They outline a bunch of things, including the court's rulings previously that support her statement of the laws and her claims.
Yeah. I don't know why people are so surprised that I got all passionate in chat. But I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I've done this 100 times. I always get excited and start shouting in my mic. I rant. I'm a ranter. I asked like, should I change that? No, I'm a ranter. I am. Because I'm fucking tired of all the shit. I really am.
Yeah,
I am. I'm tired of it. It's my falling down. It's just like come on, man. Don't tell me to my face that my friends aren't what they are. I know they are. I know who they are. If you knew Pedro for 14 or 15 years and you got some news for me, okay, well, I'll hear it, I guess, and compare it to what I know. But don't as somebody just sitting around
making an assumption,
and spreading it online with impunity. I mean, come on, man, stop with that. I don't want to be a part. I don't want to have that going on with my friends in this chat. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. It's garbage, man. I'm going to confront that. Like, I didn't block Guilty Angel. I argued with her about it. And, it's cool. I think I'm doing the right thing there. As far as Victoria goes, man, that's an impassioned plea. Cousin Richie said falling down is about a male Karen. Maybe I'm a male Karen today. Maybe I'm Tropical Storm Karen.
Hey, what's the latest on that?
I don't know. I think it's
just storming.
Nobody's talking about it. The storms missed us this time.
I know.
They were like,
I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to speak too soon.
Yeah, it's true. There's still time. There's still time to destroy all of our land. Anyway, it doesn't matter if Blake Lively is a bad person. It doesn't matter if you think she's a bad person. It doesn't matter if they somehow are able to prove irrefutably in a court of law that she is a bad person. The questions are relevant only to the claims that she is making. That's it. There's no like all this other stuff is just nonsense and noise. It's designed to create confusion and then ultimately hatred towards somebody that you don't know. And that's what's really off-putting for me. That's what gives me a hard time. I have a hard time digesting, I guess you could say. And that's it,
Lee's drinking sangria. I'm so glad that you reported that. Now I'm jealous.
Who is?
Lee is with us and said, I'm drinking sangria.
Yeah, that'll do it. Put a little warmth in the cheeks. Put a little fucking...
Now I miss sangria.
Haze.
Dale and I have been sober for years. I think 2020 happened.
I'm California sober.
California. That's really funny. 2020 happened, and we obviously with everybody else, there was all that whiplash because of the social distancing measures, lockdown, whatever. And we got super fucking wasted, way too drunk. And then we just decided to the pendulum swung, and we've been sober ever since.
Yeah.
But then you mentioned something like sangria, and I'm like, oh, that's why I used to drink. Sangria is so fucking delicious.
Delicate was saying that Blake Girl got bossed too close to the sun, and it's just the lyric is accurate as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. I think these guys are misogynists. I think they made a show about their misogyny. They reversed their misogyny in the show and called it Man Enough, and they poured all this effort into. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched enough of the show to know. And maybe they were doing some good. Who knows? Hey,
will you pull up this picture?
Entirely possible. Are we doing Drew?
Yes. Okay. Cosmic Urgency brought it up.
Yeah, Drew Struzan.
Asking, did you cover Drew Struzan passing away?
Drew
so
Struzan
many
has
iconic movie
passed.
posters by that guy.
It's ridiculous.
It was just a few years ago that I learned that this one guy is responsible for all of these iconic movie posters. He did the Indiana Jones posters. He did the classic Star Wars posters, right? His career is intense. But in the 80s, I remember so many amazing posters. He did the Goonies. He did Back to the Future. He did, there's a bunch of ones. Oh, what was it called? Neverending Story. So
Drew did everything. Did them all,
It should just be called Drew.
Yeah, I gotta show you how to put them on then you can just put it in the thing and I can just click on it and it'd be done. I gotta go through all this instead, but I will. I'll show you what I'm talking about after the show.
And I didn't even know until today that he did all the Muppet posters.
It's just a thing called Drew.
Yeah, it's just an image. I wanted to show you guys these because they're so delightful. Anyway, he's if you look up his posters, you'll recognize all of them. I feel like I've always wanted one of those houses with the cool movie posters on the walls. We don't have enough walls here to decorate, but
yeah, I would do that.
And I feel like now I've decided they're all going to be illustrated by this guy.
I didn't have a lot of family come visit me in LA, but my Uncle Kenny did, and he was a crazy Marilyn. He's gone now, but he was a crazy Marilyn Monroe fan. Oh my God, crazy.
I had a friend that was like that about Elvis.
Yeah.
So weird.
And so
people just fixate on a celebrity.
So when I was in LA, it was well, I'm going to go see her grave and see my nephew at the same time. So he came down to LA and, so,
his name is Kenny.
His name is, Kenny.
Uncle Kenny.
Uncle Kenny.
That's so great that you have an Uncle Kenny.
Yeah.
That's such a fucking Winnipeg sounding name.
He was a funny guy
too. They didn't go by Ken or Kenneth, but Kenny as a grown man, as an uncle.
Uncle Kenny. And so anyway, we were, we went to see her grave, and then it's actually, one of those, whatever drawers, I guess, or whatever.
Are you putting it up?
I am. I'm working on it. And then, so my Uncle Kenny, I said to my Uncle Kenny, I was we're standing there in front of him, and I was I was yeah, we'll go do it.
She's in a mausoleum, right?
Yeah. And so I was yeah, we'll go do it. And, my back of my mind, I'm what the fuck are we doing? This is so pointless. There's so many better things we can do than go stare at something that says Marilyn Monroe on it. So we get there, And then I'm kind of like being funny, sarcastic about it. And I'm like, so what do you want to do now? Like, what are we doing about it? And he said, what do you mean? What am I going to do? I'm going to go jump her bones. And I just couldn't fucking stop laughing.
Why are you mentioning this?
So then we got down to, well, this is to the point. So then we got down to Hollywood Boulevard because he wanted to see Hollywood Boulevard. So we left her grave where he wanted to jump her bones. And then we went to Hollywood Boulevard where he found a life-size Marilyn Monroe and he bought it. And I'm like, here's the problem, buddy. You got to get that on a plane. Like, where are you going to put that? He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm bringing it home. I never saw it. But apparently, according to his son, hit me up on Facebook, he fucking broke it in half. It was like in 3 different spots. And then when he got it home, he just basically taped it together.
So she's got like
so she's all like repaired. She's just like this repaired, like
cardboard cutout.
Cardboard cutout of Marilyn Monroe in his basement. Oh,
I still don't know why you brought this up.
Because you were talking about posters and, here we go. We're talking about posters. How can I just tell my stories?
Well, no, I was wondering how it was connected. Drew Struzan.
Nobody likes me today.
What do you mean? Everybody likes you.
No. Nobody likes
We all love you.
we
love your stories. We love your rants too.
Otto. Here he is. Look at the photo is up there. But I mean, look, I'm going to show you some of his stuff too, but look at that. Like, Miss Piggy over here. Like, just look at all these. But he's so fabulous. Like, let's do an image search, or let me do this actually. Images. I bet you my brother knew him.
He's so talented.
He did Star Wars.
I can't believe
he did Blade Runner.
that he hand drew and painted all of these images.
He did Back to the Future. He did Raiders of the Lost Ark. He did The Muppet. I mean, he was just absolutely so prolific and amazing. I'm sure my brother probably has pictures with him or something. Anyway, he has passed. Indeed a legend. How old was he? He was in his late 70s, I think it was. Was it?
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's see. He was 78. God, it's just crazy. D'Angelo, 51 years old, dies today. 78 years old is like, obviously, it's crazy. Oh, yeah, let me put this back on. Sorry, guys. Everybody's like, where are you guys, bros? All right, here we go. Yep. Boom. We're back. Sorry about that. Drew was the GOAT. Nobody better. Certainly nobody better.
I love his pictures. I'm bummed that he lived long enough to see everybody feed his posters into AI, and try and generate fake images.
Yeah. Totally. I think it's fair to. I'm flipping back to my topic here of like all the drama tonight. I think it's fair to argue with these people who are coming in here and spreading absolute garbage. I think it's, and if you guys think I shouldn't, then, I think you should let me know and I won't. I definitely want this to be a safe place for everyone to have fun and enjoy themselves. But like, just for me, it's like, what do I got to do? Like, what does anybody got to do to like try and like, just get through to anyone about this? Like, I don't want to do this and talk about all this stuff if I can't like, express the real problem with the way people are behaving. D'Angelo linked to Scream 2 for me. His cover of a Prince song opens up the iconic opening scene with Jada Pinkett.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that.
I really don't even remember it. I saw Scream 2 in the theaters, but I don't remember it at all. I don't even remember Jada Pinkett in it. So that'll be fun to rediscover. I'll rewatch that.
I'm glad he got that Hollywood money.
I'll rewatch that in a minute.
It was tough for him. I didn't realize until he popped back up and started performing again. Everybody was so happy, and he finally talked about why he went reclusive. But that also means that he was losing a lot of money. Like hopefully he made really good deals where he was continuing to get paid on his music that he'd already put out, but he wasn't touring and he wasn't, he let everybody forget about him on purpose. So I don't know. I hope he got paid for a lot of stuff like that. Delicate said, someone else is going to pass. It comes in threes. Have you noticed that?
What happens in threes?
Celebrity deaths.
No, I haven't noticed that. I mean, I've noticed that when they were in threes. Whenever they're in threes, I notice it, I guess.
Or fours or fives.
Yeah, but
or twos.
sometimes it's just one, and sometimes it's three, and sometimes it's even more than three. It's just like, for me, it gets a little, like, I think now there's just so many younger deaths and or problems with health, like it's just, I just feel like, are we in a culling period or something? Like, what is going on?
Oh my God. What does that mean?
Well, I just don't understand why it just feels like so many younger people. I just feel like our average mortality rate is shrinking.
I remember somebody shared this. I can't remember which disability activist said it, but it was really impactful. They were like, everybody in good health is pre-disability. Like, your good health only lasts for so long. Eventually, you too will become disabled. So we should all be disability advocates, because that's all of our futures.
For sure.
So I just feel like maybe a lot of people becoming more ill, dealing with like chronic fatigue all of a sudden, or these diseases, like hopefully this means that there's going to be more people involved in the fight to make it a little bit better and easier for people to struggle with health problems. But I don't know. It's such an imbalance of power in the system that I don't know how we're going to improve.
Yeah.
At this point anymore.
Yeah. We'll see. We shall see. What else you got? Anything? I feel bad. I feel like I disappointed everybody tonight.
Why do you feel bad?
I just feel bad because, like, I was obviously, up in their faces tonight.
Well, I don't think that it...
And I
don't think it should be a surprise to anybody if they're saying that your friend who you were close friends with for, over a decade...
is saying that they're
saying disparaging things about you might result in some pushback. Like, that shouldn't be surprising. Right. So maybe you could have said things a little better. I don't know. I don't think you said anything wrong or bad. Well, I mean, you're not trying to offend anybody. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I'm trying to have like fun with everyone. And the one thing that I don't want to do is like Guilty Angel is obviously, she's around every day. I appreciate everything that she brings. But if she's going to do that,
I love having her around.
I'm not going to put up with that kind of stuff.
Well, I just think it would be weird to be like, to be in the chat of somebody who's doing a live video where they're talking about who they think is the nicest person in Hollywood, and they know personally because they've had a long
Right, it was a question
friendship,
posed to me about, right, exactly.
And then if you're like, no, actually, that person's a fucking snake in the grass, like, you should just expect that you're going to get some pushback about that, because that's just like a very contrarian view. It's a very argumentative stance. Like,
and also, Guilty Angel's read my book. She knows how I feel about people getting, torn down on unjustifiably.
Yes, and she also knows about how you treasure people who do not betray you. Like, who the fucking real ones are.
I do.
Speaking of real ones, I do have a story that I saved for everybody. This is really fucking awesome. So there's a guy who has become famous in Los Angeles because he won a $2 billion lottery. Okay? This guy suddenly became a $2 billionaire.
Yeah.
His name is...
He's buying up LA right now.
Yes, his name is Edwin Castro. Well, I don't know if he's the only one. There's a lot of fucking super rich people who are like trying to buy
millions
LA.
on the Palisades right now.
No, check this out. So you might be talking about somebody else. Let me tell you the story about Edwin Castro. Okay.
Yeah.
He bought a record $2 billion Powerball lottery ticket at a local gas station.
Yeah.
In 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, since the Altadena neighborhood was completely razed by wildfires this last year, he has now been buying up all of the properties. Okay. Edwin Castro is one of the biggest investors, snapping up properties destroyed by the Eaton fire in January.
Oh, it was that fire. Okay.
And he wants to lead the rebuilding in his hometown. He says he wants to sell exclusively to families who want to settle down in Altadena rather than people who might turn the homes into rentals.
Oh, this is
Isn't that
he's a
awesome?
real one?
He's a real one.
He's going to become a billionaire real
Yep.
one?
And
Because I
he-
told you my dream was to become the anti-capitalist landlord.
Yes.
To go and buy apartment buildings and then only cover the mortgage, 10% contingency for maintenance and the taxes. And that's it.
Dale and I dreamed about this for like 2 years, like heavy, like super
Non-profit,
delusional,
just
like
buying real estate.
figuring it all out.
Ahead of the oligarchs, buying it, and then just making like we had these fantasies of like, hey, we just bought the building. Oh yeah, we're the
Some
new
things are gonna
landlords.
change around here.
Some things are gonna fucking change around here. I hope you're okay with that. And we're like, yeah, what are we talking? Well, first, like, what do you pay for rent? And like, be all like that, be like Scrooge the day after, you know, right? Christmas Day, is it still Christmas? You know, you're like, what do you pay for rent? They'd be like, like $2,500. Not anymore, pal. Not anymore. And then just hand them like something like here's your new lease or whatever, and then on it
It's
the
like
rent
$600?
is like $1,200 or whatever $600.
Yeah, $600.
Some dramatically
and
lower
you
number.
get a free delivery of fresh cut flowers every month.
Right, and you'll get fresh cut flowers.
And then you'll also have like
they'll just get that on the month.
we'll
of
plant
the
like
rent.
a food forest so everybody can have like fruit trees
Right.
to tend and harvest from,
Right.
and also free Decembers for everybody.
Free, and that's right. We did. We had free Decembers, a food forest,
Spend your rent money on your Christmas presents.
and exactly
Anti-capitalist landlord.
a free. Yeah, of course. You got to give them the end of the year.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that end of year money, bro. Shit is busy.
Everybody does. Anyway, Edwin Castro is a real one. He said he wants to sell exclusively to families who want to settle down in Altadena rather than people who might turn homes into rentals. And he might settle there too. He said he wants to build a home on 2 cleared lots that he envisions that he would pack with whimsical elements like secret underground rooms. He described it like Willy Wonka's factory.
Just don't turn into a serial killer and everything will be great.
He said he wanted to have kids like yesterday. He's not married. He said, but this is about family. Family's important.
What a beautiful guy.
Castro says that he sees these Altadena homes as a chance to do the same with his future kids, to show them how he helped bring the neighborhood back. Many locals appreciate his goals, but he's drawn skepticism too. So the Wall Street Journal has just put out an article all about him. It's titled, "He won the $2 billion Powerball. Now he's buying up lots burned in the LA fires."
I mean, look you know what? You got to love this approach, and we'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't know why we have to be cynical about it. Like, what the fuck? He's trying something. He's trying to do something. It is entirely ambitious. There's a lot of potential problems for it, from assessments and up, and who can afford. So there's some stuff to deal with.
So he's really, really lucky because
It can be done.
So the Pacific Palisades, they burned, and because all of those houses were made of plastic,
Yeah.
all of that land is toxic. So they're trying to buy it up and turn it into something, but it keeps they keep running tests, and it's really it's uninhabitable.
The soil's bad.
So somebody's going to trick somebody into living there, but it's really bad.
Well, no, the
super bad.
EPA won't open it unless it's legal.
But the Altadena neighborhood, that was all really old houses. Like, a lot of those houses were built in the 60s. Like, that stuff is just made of lumber, right? So it's not toxic. And for sure, that area of town would get bought up and turn into a bunch of apartment high rises if somebody like him didn't come in and buy it just to create single family homes out of it, which I think is wonderful. Because those neighborhoods are so quaint and so wonderful, those suburban Los Angeles neighborhoods. It's really great that somebody's doing something to prevent it from being another fucking aisles of apartment towers,
Yeah, absolutely.
Super neat. Edwin Castro is a real one. So he's an ethical billionaire because he's only been a billionaire since 2022.
Well, because he's an accidental billionaire. Yeah. He's not a billionaire who's exploited anybody. He bought a lottery ticket.
Yep.
He actually has taken the money from those exploiting, because the lottery ticket system is obviously an exploitation for money. I mean, for fuck's sake. They're like, oh, nobody won. Sorry about you spending all that money and not actually having a chance.
Yeah. Cosmic Urgency has an interesting tidbit.
Okay.
So DiCaprio's production company is developing a Bela Lugosi bio. And apparently it's from the writers of Ed Wood.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
I'm a fan of Ed Wood, the movie.
Are you a fan of Bela Lugosi?
Yeah, of course. I mean, a fan of Bela Lugosi. Yeah.
Did you ever see him in anything other than Bela Lugosi's
I saw him in
Dracula, right?
I'd have to go down his resume, but I saw a good bit of his stuff.
Really? I only know him as Dracula. But it's not like I'm so well versed in the classic movies.
I mean, he did some stuff later that I barely remember, but yeah.
Hinata's quoting Victoria saying she did not perform her contract, and Hinata's like, so no movie was made?
So no movie was made.
So she didn't act in a movie?
It's just where you get like, it's just like that's where it's just like,
She made the movie.
what the fuck, bro? What do you mean she didn't perform a contract? And by the way, like, what do you care if she didn't sign the contract if Sony doesn't care? Like, if Sony doesn't care, then what the fuck do you care? Why the fuck does anyone care if Sony didn't fucking care? Has anyone sued Blake Lively for not signing her contract? No.
Oh, Erica is bringing this up. This is really interesting. The contract makes no difference because the contract would not allow them to SH her and then retaliate. Wait a second.
Well, I don't know if that null and void the contract.
So check it out. So what if they keep saying that the contract wasn't signed as if that's some defense of theirs because it's a breach of her contract that they're not allowed to retaliate against her? No sexual harassment, no retaliation.
It's not a breach of contract because it's against the law to do
No,
that.
of course, I know.
There's you can't.
But
you can't have something in a contract that's illegal.
I just was wondering, like, what is
We reserve the right to retaliate.
what is their motive for bringing up this contract signature thing?
The motive for
It makes them look bad.
I've spent
personally.
a lot of time thinking about this. Like, this wasn't blurted out in some like passionate rant. I spent a lot of time thinking about why Jamie Heath doesn't, because I know.
No. I'm talking about now. They're talking about her not signing the contract now. That's part of the PR fight where they have like all these talking points that they want everybody to talk about.
That's a motivation for her to try and change the contract. So what they're saying is she didn't sign the contract because she's trying to leverage her not signing the contract into some kind of opportunity
that she's difficult to work with
to get something for it.
Okay.
She's trying to extort.
That makes sense.
So they're trying to turn that into an extortion.
It's extortion.
Yeah, the extortion is, they're trying to create this.
She didn't get anything from us, but it's extortion.
She extorted nothing from us.
She extorted absolutely nothing.
As a matter of fact, actually, she filled our coffers. Yes. The woman filled our coffers.
She only brought us more wealth.
Like, really, the best success
extortion.
we've ever had. Wow, we should have thought this through. Like, think it through, you guys.
Oh, Lee is calling out somebody who claims to be a lawyer or work in law or something.
Yeah.
But they misspelled moot as mute. And Lee's like, if you work in the legal industry, you would know that. It's moot, not mute.
And everybody knows
It's really interesting. This is
they called it a mute point.
I know that ex-patriarch was talking about this, being like, this is really fishy because this person claims to be a lawyer and they're not talking like one. Like, we're just like,
I know a few lawyers that didn't talk like lawyers. I don't know what people really, I guess.
Oh, really?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
How do you pass the bar?
I knew doctors that didn't talk like doctors.
No, I know, but how do you pass the bar if you don't know like legal language? Like, apparently it's really fucking difficult to do.
Well, I can't speak for this author of this mute, but I can say that I have in my own writings just blurted down the absolute wrong word and just went, holy fuck, how did that happen? Take Clout 9, for example. No, I kid.
Could 9.
Could 9. That was a clout.
That's a typo that that accidentally ended up in Dale's print version of his book. Could 9 instead of Cloud 9. And I just feel like that must be like a typo that was like an autocorrect or something. Because there's no way I didn't miss that. There's no way I missed that. I mean,
hey, you did look, that book is not perfect, but it was just you and me, bro. It wasn't, we didn't have a publishing empire. We didn't have 3, 4, 5 different editors, one running copy, one running sensitivity, one running development.
Yeah, right.
We just had you and me. I mean, me writing, you editing. So I'm really proud of us. We put out an independent piece that worked. I'm very excited about it. I'm extremely grateful to all of you who've read it and reviewed it. And my God, it's just been a great ride so far. And I expect it to continue.
Jeremy Wright says, I loved Brittany Murphy, had such a crush.
Yeah, me too.
My time travel conspiracy theory is that Dale was supposed to end up with Brittany Murphy.
Yeah, there's a little.
And because she didn't end up with you and you didn't end up with her, that your lives got worse because you were so far off of your path of destiny, You know
what happened? Was that when I met Brittany Murphy, she was like 16 years old or something. Like when I met her, it was at Clueless. And so maybe she wasn't
that young.
Yeah, we'll find out, actually. I'll tell you. She was young, man. She was like maybe 17. What's up, Britt?
Erica said, Dale is feisty today.
I was a little bit.
Jeremy says Dale is definitely getting amped.
November, that's what I mean. I hope I didn't rattle the cages. November 10th, 1977. So she was 7 years my junior. And so then I met her in 1995. So she was 18.
18.
She was 18. Yep, she turns 18 at the end of 77. Interesting. So yeah, she was 18, probably turning 19.
But that was just when you met her. You weren't. When you're writing about her in your book, that's years after.
It is, of course, yeah, many years. It's yeah, but so she was at that point, probably that's what, like shit. That's yeah, she's 23, 24 years old at that point. So at that point, like there was no question that we were attracted to each other, she and I.
She was 24. You were like what, 30?
I was, yeah, exactly. Just like she's like actually 6 years my junior. So anyway, we were attracted to each other. There's no question. I was engaged to be married.
Oh, well, you should have called it off.
At that fucking point, I should have.
You should.
I didn't, and it led me to you. So I'm fucking good to go. Like I landed on my feet in a big way.
Well, no. You guys would have had like a really wonderful relationship and career. You would have been divorced already, right? And then we would have met, and we'd still be together.
Me and Brittany would be divorced.
Yeah,
joint custody.
Shit happens. Yeah, joint custody. Yeah, of your like adult children.
I love that girl. I miss her, and I was extremely sad when she died. You would not even believe. So, yeah, couldn't believe it. She, my wife almost became her assistant.
See, the daimon was trying to get you guys close together.
Isn't that weird?
Was like kept putting her in orbiting your life.
We just got a random call, bro.
Yep.
Angela left management, and her last client was Pedro Pascal, and she left management, and I don't know, maybe it was 2 months, 3 months later, we got a call from Brittany. It was actually from, I think it was. I can't remember who called. It wasn't Brittany, but they were called. They were like, "Hey, do you think Angela would be down?" I'm like, "Wow, let's." They called me to see.
You said Angela, and you're talking about your ex.
Angela is my ex, who was also named
who's
Angela.
also got the same name as me.
So there was a conversation about her, Angela. Yeah, and she just wouldn't do it, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude, why?" And it wasn't because I was interested in Brittany Murphy's, from a romantic perspective. It was a great opportunity.
No. You're saying that your ex didn't want to represent Brittany Murphy after Clueless?
Didn't want to. No, it was assistant.
Assistant. She didn't want to be her assistant after.
Refused.
That's like a huge opportunity.
I was
that's
like
a super. She's a star.
She didn't want to travel.
She didn't want to travel.
No.
And be a movie star's assistant.
Go hang out in fucking 5-star restaurants in Japan. You'll see like the best of everything. That every town has to offer in the world. And you'll get paid a decent salary. It was like just under 100. And it's like, you'll get a decent salary. You'll travel all over the world. I'll fucking come and join you in many of the places. And I'm friends with Brittany Murphy. So it'll just renew a great friendship that will only be good for my career potentially, because Brittany and I had already talked about working together
you have the
years
same friends.
before, but after Leo. So that wasn't necessarily going to be an issue. It was sad. Whatever. Oh, God, my life, bro. Just got so weird. What a weird life.
Cosmic Urgency wants to know if we've watched Black Phone. That's on my list.
No. I don't know what that is.
I can't remember what we were talking about when Jeremy Wright scolded us. I don't know if it's about
Black Phone.
I don't know if it's about what did I say? Boris Karloff? No. Who's the other guy that played Dracula? What's his name?
Bela Lugosi?
Bela Lugosi, thank you. See, we're getting scolded. Jeremy Wright said, "Hey," all caps, exclamation points. "There's 17 days until Halloween. You need to know this."
Bela Lugosi?
No, I don't know what it's from.
He's like emphatic nonetheless.
No, but it's true. Like, look at me posing in October, not knowing about horror movie stuff.
So there's a Black Phone franchise as it goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Franchise? What do you mean?
Ethan Hawke's in it. Yeah, there's a Black Phone 2. That people really like.
Is it a horror movie?
It's a bad name for a movie though, because like I put it in and then there's the movie and then you scroll down and it's a bunch of black phones
with like black cases.
iPhone, Google Pixel 9, it's black too.
Is it a horror movie?
It is.
And you're saying
it's one of the mask ones.
Okay.
The guy's wearing a mask.
Ethan Hawke in a horror movie. That's intriguing.
It's kind of like a mask where it's like Scream meets, what's that one? Oh shit. The one where he wears the mask.
Saw? No.
No. The one, V for Vendetta.
Oh.
What's that guy?
Can't remember.
Black Phone 2 is out on Friday.
I saw a horror movie with Ethan Hawke once, and it was this like 3-hour long movie where he kept playing guitar for people and he wasn't very good. And the whole time I was like horrified.
Why does it say Black Phone 2?
Dale, you didn't get my joke.
Wait, what?
I'm making a joke about Boyhood,
Tell me again.
about how Boyhood is a horror movie.
Yeah, it is. Tell me. No, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. Oh, come on.
Forget it.
Oh, damn it. Scott Derrickson. Why does it say June 24th, 2022 if it's out on Friday? Short story. It's based on a short story by Joe Hill.
Oh, that's fun.
I've read one Joe Hill book.
And it's good?
Yeah, it was good. It's called, I think it was called Horn.
What pressure, dude. Can you imagine being Stephen King and Tabitha King?
He changed his fucking name. He was like, no thanks. I won't.
Yeah, because of the pressure, dude.
Yeah. Well, then he told everybody, hey, by the way, I changed my name. I'm Stephen King's kid.
SC is saying, I don't know if this was discussed, but why is the extortion comment getting so much attention? It was from his own agent at the time.
Yeah. Well, that is the weirdest thing is it's because they'll cling to anything, right?
Well,
Brian
because
Friedman
in his
says
lawsuit.
something, and so they run with whatever Brian Friedman says. Of course, the agent is going to parrot what he is saying. Mm-hmm. The agent, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, agents, rather reluctantly, really, but inevitably are practical therapists to their clients. And they have so fucking many. You have like 30 or 40, and they're like, I got to talk to you. Man, I'm just losing my security. And you just got to go through it with them. And they're fucking talking about, everything to like where you're literally worried about whether or not their mental health is a danger to them. So it goes all the way through, and you have to balance.
It sounds like a really horrible job.
It is, dude. Fucking agents are coked up, and they're just fucking a mess themselves half the time. Because it's a high paced work 20 fucking 4 hours a day. You go home every weekend with a stack of scripts that seems insurmountable, and which is why, by the way, you've heard probably the like get them in the first 10 pages because otherwise it's tossed. Mm-hmm. You've not like you can't believe your eyes when you see what some of these executives have to go home with for their weekend reads. It's a fucking brutal life.
On that show, Californication.
Yeah. One of my favorites, by the way.
His agent was the guy that played the character Runkle.
Yeah, Runkle.
Right?
Yeah.
He's kind of like every agent I've ever seen. Like he played that character really well. Where he's just like super high strung, and like stressed out all the time,
so stressed
and can't deal with any more stress. Like, do not put another fucking stress on him.
I don't fucking understand people who thrive in that kind of an environment because it's filled with toxicity as well. Because you have it's also like ultra competitive. People are trying to outdo the others. They want to get the new clients. They want to get the ones that are in between agents, so on and so forth. And so the competition is so fucking fierce. And of course, I'm sure, although I can't verify this, but I'm sure they have the company meetings where Dale's doing really great, everybody. Man, that guy, who'd you sign? Al Pacino. Al fucking Pacino. Al Pacino. Dale. Huh? Who else signed Al Pacino today? Oh, that'd be nobody. And you got to live with this fucking pressure. You're like, God, who's Al Pacino? Where's Gene Hackman? I got to find Gene Hackman. Where is he at WME? Fuck WME. And it's just this big fierce competition. I don't know why. I don't know how people can thrive in that environment. I cannot. I just shut down, bro. I'm like, oh fuck no.
I knew a guy who was an agent in Hollywood, and he was successful enough to drive a really nice sports car.
Yeah, they do.
I met him at a Halloween party. He was like super fun and flamboyant, and he like all of a sudden just like left Hollywood and then like moved to a ranch in Colorado, and he ended up just like raising cattle. And then, like,
perfect.
He was like, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be in a city. Like that's how much it broke him.
It's tight around the neck, bro.
Stressful.
That shit is tight around the neck. It really is. It's just like, whoo-wee, dude. My God. And like managers, they don't have it as bad because they really, especially, well, it can be that bad if you're working for a management company. But if you're an independent manager, then you can kind of define, that you know, that your style, if you will, because there's really a style to it. Fucking agents, man. Nah. I respect them though, and I do, because they're, first of all, they're vitally important. Even if they can be entirely destructive, they're vitally important because artists are so easily exploited. I've been nothing but exploited my entire fucking life, and you know this. You're a an eyewitness to it all. You know, I get exploited constantly. I do major jobs for free, just all kinds of shit. And if I had an agent, I wouldn't.
Do you feel like I exploit you?
Daily.
Every time you make me oatmeal for breakfast,
It's just a
you're
raw
like, when is she going to
exploitation.
make me oatmeal?
Yeah, as good as this. Legendary oatmeal.
Jeremy Wright said, being an adult now is horrifying.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it
I would suggest that maybe being a kid is even more horrifying.
Well, they may not know
being
yet.
a teenager right
Dude,
now.
I wouldn't have
Oh
been
my
paying, I
God.
wouldn't pay attention. I thought
Yo.
Reagan was a good guy. I thought Reagan was a good guy when I was a kid. That's what
No,
kids are
but
doing.
listen, dude.
Kids are like, there's a bunch of kids running around thinking Trump is a good guy.
Can you imagine going through fucking puberty and awkward social interactions and like trying to like figure out who you are with a fucking camera phone in your face fucking constantly, and the threat that maybe if you do something awkward or embarrassing that it'll end up all over the fucking internet? Like, we're so fortunate that we grew up before fucking cell phones, dude.
And
being an
iPads.
adult now is horrifying. Dude, being a teenager now has got to be like, ugh.
Also, kids are like raised by screens now, like they never were. Like, you know, we would get like yelled at for watching TV, and now an iPad is the new soother. It's the new, you know, the new pacifier. Is like, oh, the baby's crying, fucking boom. Oh, boom.
Apparently,
boom, boom, boom.
more Gen Z people are like completely shutting off. They're getting like stupid phones. You know, what do they call those? Dumb phones?
Yeah.
Where like they don't even have a screen.
Yeah.
It's just like
Just numbers.
It's just numbers. It looks like a walkie-talkie.
It rings like ring, ring.
Yeah, exactly. Because they realize how their fucking attention span has been destroyed. They can't even fucking read books anymore. So they're like, okay, we're taking it back.
Of course, I don't have children, and so I really am talking out of my ass, generally speaking. But I see this going around. I'm a writer, so I can fill in the gaps.
Well, I mean, I think the reason why you and I grew up in a time where kids were just let outside to play all the time was because raising children was never supposed to be a full-time fucking 24/7 job, right?
Yeah.
Like you said your parents wouldn't even let you back in the house.
No.
So like parents can't do that now. There's no kids that are like going out to play unless you live in the fucking country and they go like, you know, play in the woods and, you know, get fucking ticks and shit. You know, but like nobody that lives in suburbs or urban areas can let their kids just go out to play. So you're being made to parent 24/7. Of course they're using fucking screens. Because you just can't, at no point in any, you know, human history were parents supposed to parent their children constantly. It's just like, you can't do it. You know, there's no help. There's no assistance. It's not like we have communes and villages and shit where like somebody takes care of the kids all day so that you can do your fucking regular adult stuff. So that's why screens are so ubiquitous, is because like there's no alternative. You know?
It's true.
How much time did you guys spend outside when you were a kid?
All of it.
Like morning to night.
Morning to night. In the winter, I'm from Winnipeg. In the winter, where it's minus 30 or whatever, we would still be outside so constantly that I every year suffered deformities from the cold on my
What do you
face.
mean deformities?
You know, I'd freeze my nostril and then like go to school with a nostril that's out to here,
Like swollen?
or a fucking earlobe that's down to there,
Like a blister?
No, when they freeze, they swell, and then after they swell, they just kind of stay deformed until they kind of like regain their shape
Oh
after
my God.
like whatever days, you know.
That's horrific.
Sometimes they're just like, well, you know, I mean, back then, you know, it was kind of just.
And would you
like,
see other kids like that too?
Yeah, we all got frozen.
We all got frozen.
Everybody gets frozen at least once in their life, you know. You know, yeah. I mean, it's like you know, you always see somebody with a bad earlobe. You know, if we end up moving to Winnipeg ever for a period of time, and the weather ever returns to anything remotely
You'll
close
see
to
people
what it
like
was,
missing their top digits. Like
no, nothing like that. But you'll be like,
Frostbite?
you'll be like, you know, standing in line to get a coffee or something. You'll see like, oh, that dude's earlobe is gnarly, and it's, you know,
frostbite
earlobe. It's recovering.
That's amazing.
I know.
I remember being out for like several hours in the evening, like every evening, just like playing with the neighborhood kids. And I just don't know that people do that anymore. In fact, there's a new documentary that's dropping.
It's almost scary to do it nowadays.
There's a new documentary on Netflix on Friday, and it's about this woman who terrorizes her neighborhood because the kids are outside playing. It's called Perfect Neighbor.
Oh.
I saw the trailer. I've been waiting for it. So it's a true crime documentary where she gets progressively more horrible until she like is literally harming people because she can't stand that there's children outside playing in this neighborhood where everybody else is fine with it. It's just like a Karen that goes too far documentary.
I was going to make a point, and so I did a search for the first school shooting in America. Mm-hmm. And I'm off a little bit. And when it occurred.
When did it occur?
When do you think it occurred?
I don't know. The first one ever?
Yeah.
I mean, was it the one that Pearl Jam wrote a song about? So that was like in the early 90s?
So I thought it was somewhere around there.
It's
but
not.
the first recorded school shooting in U.S. history occurred July 26th, 1764.
1764.
And what now... in what is now Greenscale, Pennsylvania, the event is known as the Enoch Brown School Massacre, as a matter of fact.
It was like...
So this is the first...
like Amish country? Like fucking what?
Can you believe this shit? It's just like, you're just like, wow, oh, okay, so this has just been the thing. This has been going on. It was like, the first one
it's
happened...
not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing.
More
It's
than
horrible.
300 years ago.
God.
More than 300 years ago was the first shooting in the United States. And I don't even know why I was looking for that because now I'm so distracted.
Did you mention Born in the USA?
I don't know if I did. No, I don't think I did.
Jeremy Wright is pointing out how it's a protest song. Oh my God, dude, this is so funny. I brought this up. You know how everybody's really...
I mean, what did they think that he was singing happily about Vietnam?
Yeah, no, well...
like those were just like...
About being born in the USA? Like
heel kicking lyrics about getting sent to Vietnam?
This is so funny. I saved this today. You know how everybody's like got their fucking knickers in a twist about Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl? Like, who gives a fuck? It's like, come on. So some people are like super upset. And so they're doing like an alternative broadcast of like... whatever fucking Turning Point USA is doing, like, you know,
their alternative
Christian
Super Bowl,
right wing
like,
fucking Super Bowl alternative,
yeah,
where you don't have to listen to Spanish, guys.
Or whatever.
Like, I'm so sorry you have to hear like singing in Spanish.
Yeah, they got Ted Nugent.
Yeah, like Kid Rock, Ted Nugent.
Kid Rock, Ted Nugent's opening. That's their mash. It's like
so. This guy says he goes, Hugh Hallowell Jr. He says, the petty part of me would love it if Bad Bunny would cover Lee Greenwood's Proud to be an American at the halftime show just to watch everybody's head explode. It would be bonus petty points.
Proud to be an American.
Exactly.
And he just even like played the first few chords of it.
He should, dude.
Just to fucking ruin everybody.
He said bonus petty points if he does it in Spanish.
Oh, yeah. The more he will, because he refuses to sing in English and on the show, at least he said so.
I think half of the people don't know that Puerto Rico is America, and the other half don't care, and they're just being racist. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, there's one guy who is a racist. He said, he was like, I know, Puerto Rico's a territory or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Send him back. And it's like, he's a natural born citizen. He's free to move about the cabin, my friend.
I just think it's really amazing that they're never going to beat the snowflake allegations. Like, why are you guys upset about a fucking musician performing a fucking halftime show? It does not matter. Like, there's so many things that matter right now. So many things.
You saw Donald Trump, like, officially made Columbus Day the real thing or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Well, because Biden called it Indigenous Peoples Day and had like a...
So he undid that because that's what he does. He goes in and he undoes everything that everybody else does. Well, the funny thing about that, though, is like he's sitting here like, sending out all these ICE agents to remove all the brown people in the country. But he made an official holiday out of like a Hispanic individual coming here and bringing boatloads of fucking other Hispanics with him. It's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, like an actual Hispanic invasion. The Columbus ships.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, you can't fucking write this shit. I mean, if you wrote this, people would be like, Dale, this is ridiculous. This would never happen.
Is the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, is that Columbus, or is that later?
I don't know. I'm not
They made
so
us
well
fucking
versed.
memorize the names of the ships. It's so stupid, you guys. He didn't discover anything. My favorite is every time Columbus Day rolls around, everybody shares the the photographs of people's graffiti that says "bitch to fur Columbitch,"
Yeah.
and that's it. That's all it says. It's such poetry, bro.
That's really well done. That's really well done. Don't you think, I think Bruce Springsteen is like the male equivalent of Taylor Swift. Like, the devotion of his fans are like, it's intense. Like, their devotion
Who?
to him, to Bruce Springsteen. He's kind of like the Taylor Swift of, like, obviously.
No, he's like a.
Obviously, he precedes her.
Who's a fucking Margaritaville? I can never remember his name.
No, he's not the Jimmy. No. It's different.
Jimmy Buffett?
It's not like that. Like, Jimmy Buffett was like everybody went to Jimmy Buffett for the party, the feeling, they loved the music. But like, there's a devotion to Bruce Springsteen by his fans. Like, there's a following that's like, it's super devout, and it's deep. It's a deeper, like, it's a communication, This Buffett's like Margaritaville, at least the people I know, like, we knew some people who literally traveled around the world just so they could go fucking dance to his music, which is great. I mean, enjoy your money. But, at least that's how I knew a bunch of like hardcore Bruce Springsteen fans over the years. And they really do remind me of Swifties as I look back. I'm like, God.
But they understand the lyrics,
What
right?
do they call it? Springies?
Like, they understand that that "Born in the USA" is a protest song, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like the
Springsteen fans.
Yeah.
They know like Taylor. They know the lyrics inside and out. They
Right.
listen. They know every fucking word to every song. He has an incredibly profound library, and he writes, importantly. He doesn't write he's not writing pop music. He's a big deal.
Lee corrected me that Christopher Columbus is Italian, not Spanish. But then Erica corrects that, saying, yes, he's Italian, but he's sent by the Spanish.
He was sent by the Spanish.
So it's still an Hispanic invasion.
Did he have a boat full of Italians? Italians?
I don't know. I don't know whether he was just the captain and it was a Spanish fleet, or whether Spain hired an entirely Italian fleet. I don't know.
I'm not going to look it up.
But I do know that
Christopher Columbus was not the discoverer
he was
of America
recalled and
anyway.
imprisoned for what he did.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
He really fucked up.
he was apparently really fucking. He was really mean.
Yeah, they were like, dude, too much brutality.
Like, he was like,
we want
no lunch.
We want you to colonize and brutalize everybody, but you went way too far.
You guys aren't getting any lunch for the way you've behaved. And they're like, unreal. Unreal. What do you mean?
That's exactly how it happened, Dale.
No lunch.
Dale reads the history books. He knows.
Taylor's having some backlash. I mean, if you call breaking every single fucking record on the release of her record a backlash,
Oh, she can do both.
I guess.
She can have backlash and
No,
break all
the
records.
backlash is actually just haters who come out every time she does stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's not really a backlash. If it's a backlash, would say that she's like moving backwards. Her needle is moving up. Her needle's not moving backwards.
I really like her attitude about it. She's such a pro because she's like, listen, in show business, like she has to explain. I've heard this from other people too, where they're like, even bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah,
she's like,
you're
if you're
helping.
saying my name and you're listening to my record,
It's true.
that's a fucking win.
Yeah.
I don't care if you hate it. Like, you're talking about it. That's what we want.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much truth to that, as we know, because we've seen how like talking bad about a product can end the product's shelf life real quick. We've seen that with movies.
Yeah, but nobody's talking about boycotting her.
No, this is the thing. What she's talking about is she's saying, hey, for all you haters, all you're doing is motivating the people who like me or who are curious about my work. Right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you agree?
Do you smell something? Like a burning?
I hope not.
I know. That's the last thing we need.
Well, at least we're awake. Yeah. If the house is burning, we're awake.
There's like a fire in the apartment downstairs.
be
Can
like,
you imagine?
What do you mean I'm displaced?
I would just you'd be like, Angela, get out of the house, it's burning. I'm like, we have a record collection. I'd be like saving records, just tossing them on the lawn. Get a bunch of soggy records. Hey,
well,
stop.
if Taylor Swift has a backlash, I think she'll just be fine. She'll be just fine. I don't know what on earth she'd be being lashed for. What has she done? She's it's silly. But I don't think she cares, and neither do I, if she has a backlash. People come and go. There's an ebb and flow to that kind of thing, Mm-hmm. I think everybody has a backlash. I had a backlash with Guilty Angel tonight.
We love Guilty Angel, by the way.
Yeah.
You love Guilty Angel.
I do. Hope she comes back.
I I am going to check on the house, but I was wondering if instead, since we're in overtime anyway, whether you just want to conclude.
Yeah, let's just move on from.
If we're not back tomorrow, it's because our house is burned down.
It's because we've died in a fire or we've just been displaced. We'll try and keep you up to date.
Hopefully we'll just be back tomorrow and forget all about it.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 7:00. Hey, listen, guys. If it got too intense tonight, I'm sorry. I'm
Stop apologizing.
I'm going to apologize because I want people to enjoy this space.
I know, but you keep bringing it up like it's something to be sorry about.
I feel bad about making potentially anybody feel bad except for the people that I was targeting because those people were in my face about things that were ridiculous. And if you're going to show up and you're going to argue about this stuff, expect to push back. I think I'm a very impassioned fellow. I think I've always been that way on this channel. I didn't think that I was doing anything any differently tonight.
Yeah, one thing is you're never rude to people, so I don't see any harm done.
I wasn't doing anything differently tonight that I thought I've done before, but maybe I'm more intense than I think. You know, I got Mars in my first house right now. I may be rocking shit that I don't even know. You know what I mean? So if at all my energy was more than you care to experience, I apologize. I'm trying to have fun. As well. And sometimes, you know, I think honestly, I enjoy ranting. I really do. Because I can get words flowing really well. I can get train of thoughts that last long enough that I can make my point. And I don't know, I think it can be entertaining, you know, and I'm not doing it necessarily to be entertaining, but I think ultimately it can be entertaining. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'll see you guys tomorrow, right? You guys are awesome. Guilty Angel, if you come back, be good to see you. If you don't, you know, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll move on, whatever.
What do you mean? If Guilty Angel decides not to come back, I will be very sad.
Yeah, me too. If any of you guys leave, I'll be sad.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm going to leave. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. You guys are awesome. Good night. Good night.
Good night.